All right, Lauren Brown here for Code 541 CrossFit. We're looking at Coach Dev homework number 3, talking about stimulus and defining stimulus on a workout. I've chosen the 20-minute AMRAP. So we've got a 20-calorie row, 40 wall balls, and 10 strict handstand push-ups. Personally, when I am budgeting time, I like to look at it on a spectrum. I like to think about when my elite athletes are likely going to finish a movement or a round, and then I like to scale it back to my novice athletes so I can find that sweet in between spot that's going to target the right stimulus for both ends of that spectrum. So looking at the 20-calorie row, my elite athletes are going to finish that probably in around a minute. I'm going to extend that to a minute 30 for my novice athletes, maybe who are going slower or have a reduced rep scheme. So a minute to a minute 30 for the row. Looking at the wall balls, if I'm figuring about 2 seconds a rep for the wall balls, that's a minute 20. So if I've got some athletes that are maybe going unbroken, I'm going to budget them a minute 30 on wall balls and extend myself to 2 minutes for my novice athletes. Again, assuming maybe a lighter ball or a lower rep scheme. Looking at the 10 strict handstand push-ups, this becomes a very taxing movement, which will probably, the time on this will be extended a little bit each round. So I was buffering at about 2 seconds a rep, around 30 seconds for my elite athletes to get those 10 strict handstand push-ups done. And then budgeting up to a minute for my novice athletes, who again are probably doing a scaled option, but doubling about that amount of time to kind of factor in fatigue later on throughout the workout. So when we start to total this math, I like to go first on my novice end and add up roughly about what per round that's going to look like. So I've got a minute 30 for the row. I've got 2 minutes for the wall balls. And then I've got a minute for the pressing movement. So that's going to put me at 4:30 for my novice or my high end amount of time to take through those rounds. Looking at my elite athletes, a minute for the row, a minute 30 for the wall balls, and then 30 seconds for those strict presses. So that's looking at about 3:30 per round for my elite athletes. When I again try to factor in fatigue and rounds taking a little bit longer, what my math comes out to is my elite athletes are going to be around 3 to 4 minutes a round, and my novice athletes are going to be around 4 to 5 minutes a round. So pulling this all together, if we've got 20 minutes of work, we're going to be guiding our athletes to be finishing 4 to 5 rounds of work as a marker or a benchmark to try to shoot for this Metcon. And that's how I do my CrossFit math.